All right. Uh, Hello, everyone. This is Josh Ledgard, co-founder of Kickoff Labs. Welcome to our live chat series, live from a dreary late summer, early fall day in Seattle. Um, if you don't know, our product Kickoff Labs is a tool that helps you generate leads for any type of campaign with landing pages, opt-in forms, and email marketing. Um, our chat series, what you're in today, is a chance for us to share knowledge we've acquired running our product and watching what works for our customers that run successful campaigns. Um, Today's chat is framed around best practices for running an amazing contest or giveaway. Um, I'd like this to be a little bit more interactive. I want people to ask questions. We've framed the topic with some best practices from some blog posts we've done in the last month or so, and we'll also share out those blog posts for the people that are attending the chat and to the people that signed up. But we'd love for you to join us and ask any questions or post about any additional trends that we've seen. Joining me today again is Izzy. He's a marketing guru. He's pulled together a lot of the content that you've been reading about contests. And he also helped us launch our three most recent contest themes on Kickoff Labs that I think will help people leverage some of these best practices directly onto their themes. So that being said, Izzy, you wanna say hi real quick?
Hey everybody, once again. Hey everybody, thanks for joining the webinar, and once again looking forward to giving you some awesome tips for creating a killer, but I mean killer online contest or giveaway, and helping you guys boost your sign up and subscription rates.
All right. So having gone through the introduction, like I said, feel free to post questions as we go. We just sort of frame some of the best practices. Izzy and I can chat through them, but then we'll also look for you guys to add in your own questions. So there's 5 of you. There'll be time to take every question that gets asked. So let's see. Let me start the presentation. All right, and if you are following along, oh, you see that Google Drive has encountered an error. Let me reset that, and let's try again. There we go. All right, the keys to killer online contests. So I think the bulk of the content you'll see, there's 3 sections of this presentation that we have. There's before the contest, during the contest, and after the contest. And then Izzy can demo some of the new themes we've created. The bulk of the work, I mean, just sort of with anything, should go into the planning of the contest and getting the audience right, getting the prizes right, getting your engagement method right, and figuring out how you're gonna advertise the contest. And so let's go on. I think the biggest thing that I see people that do things right or or fail is either not having a goal or not setting up the target audience. So this is extremely important for figuring out what the prize is, to understand your audience. So I posted an example here. So this is some data that Kickoff Labs gives you on signups you might already have gathered from another campaign. So you can see in this case the customer's sign up is 83% male, primarily between the age of 25 and 34, and then we link to some influential customers on the right side of our screen. And what you can do is you can start clicking through and seeing some more information about each of the customers, and you want to look at the people who are your most influential customers and say, what do I know about them? What would they value? What would they share? What would they like to win? And that helps you 2 ways. One, it helps you figure out what prizes you want to get after for them, and the other, it helps you figure out how you want to message and state your message to them. But it's really important, have a goal, have an understanding of your target audience so you can pick a better prize, and you can figure out how you're going to reach them, and then have a goal. Say, hey, my goal with this contest is to generate 200, 2,000 signups. I think it's really hard to define whether or not you were successful unless you have a goal. You can set a, if it's your first contest, you don't have much of an audience, you can set a smaller goal, and then after you see what you've done the first time, you say, okay, I'm going to do 20% better the next time. I'm going to see what worked and what didn't work, and then go from there. Izzy, do you have anything you wanted to say about this one?
Just like you mentioned, I think it's important to set a realistic goal, because we happen to see a lot of customers that want to run contests and they want to get that viral boost, so they tend to set like a higher goal, a higher sharing goal for people. So we're seeing goals with you have to refer 5 people or 10 people. Just be realistic. Setting a lower number is gonna give people, they're gonna feel as if they have a higher chance of actually entering the contest or winning the contest. So just be careful with your goals.
All right. So this is from some research. It shouldn't be any doubt that if you've got a visually stunning image, you're going to get more people interested. We picked out one contest. We talked a lot about the Diamond Candles contest that's been run on our blog a couple of times. We've used this image simply because it really demonstrates the bare minimum. And I tend to think that people overcomplicate their pages, they overcomplicate the design, they overcomplicate the text that's required, they overcomplicate the form entries. This is the bare minimum, and it works. They had, I can't give an exact number, but let's just say thousands and thousands of signups from running this simple contest. And so you can see, like, right there, they've got the product shot in the image, which is in focus. Your eyes kind of then drift from the product to the form. The form is really simple. They don't even ask for a name. They're just asking to collect an email address. There's no clutter on the page. And then there's also an incentive for everyone, which is an important point, is that they're giving away something here that's valued at $1,000. You're saying, hey, you enter this contest, there's a chance that we'll give you a diamond candle, which is a candle when it burns, it reveals a ring on the inside, is sort of their gimmick with candles. But we'll give you one that actually has a ring that's worth $1,000, not just a $20 or $10 ring, whatever their average candle contains within them. So that's a huge incentive. But then you might look at it and say, well, I'm never going to win that because it's a big prize, and I hardly ever win big prizes. And they say, oh, everybody can get a discount that's exclusive to people that enter. And so what this does is it has two effects. One is that everybody who looks at it says, okay, there's value for me to enter the contest. And then the other thing that it does is for their existing audience, it helps when they're leveraging their existing audience. They already have a mailing list, and they, as part of their contest promotion, sent the contest out to their existing mailing list and said, hey, just click here, enter your email address, and get an exclusive discount. Now they did this because A, they want to encourage their existing audience to buy something because they're an e-commerce site, but then also because they're using Kickoff Labs, they'll have the sharing part that we'll talk about later afterwards. They wanted to leverage their existing audience to kickstart that viral boost that goes with the sharing. So simple form, no clutter, as simple as you can make it, and add an incentive for everybody as you're going through the contests. Izzy, you have anything else?
No, actually, I think that you pretty much nailed it pretty well. I mean, it's really about including a great incentive, because you want to, for just about any kind of contest, you want to give a prize to everybody, and that incentive is going to be that prize. So super important.
Cool. I'll pause here for a second. Does anybody, Marlon, Tim, Geek Rush guys, anybody have any questions so far about contests, things that you're curious if we're going to cover or not? Because I mean, obviously we can go through the presentation, and that's interesting. It's more fun to see if there's anything specific you want to make sure that we cover. So go ahead and post that in the chat. It's just my reminder. All right. The next point, co-promotion equals an expanded audience. There's kind of two ways to go about this. So we ran a contest one time, and what we did is we contacted people that ran other products, some related products to ours, and said, hey, would you be willing to give away some free service as part of this contest? We'll promote you as part of the contest. And then you, in return, can promote the contest and say, hey, you can win my service for free by going here. That is a powerful thing, because especially if you're a smaller company, because you don't have a huge audience. So the Diamond Candles guys had a huge audience to start with and kickstart things. So especially if you're starting out smaller, thinking about who are some people I can partner with, who can I leverage, whose network can I leverage, who's that really fits the niche of my audience. So we didn't just go out and look for things that were, things that were of value, like give away an iPad or something. Anybody could give away an iPad, but what are the things that, for people that are within our audience, what would they want? So in this case, the company, the Startup Pirates, they were giving away 3 books. They picked 3 books that are directly related to their audience, their niche. And then they worked with they worked to get kind of a cross promotion from those book authors to say, like, hey, can you just mention this, or give to audience, we're doing this contest, and that can be a really powerful thing. And so you can pay for the other company's service, you can get them to partner, you could pay for a copy of a book or something to give away. It's not that expensive, but I think it's something to think about. Is one, who could you work with that has an audience that's related to your audience, that has something of value, and leverage that. 2, really thinking through the prizes. It's easy to get a few thousand signups giving away an iPad, but the problem with just giving away an iPad or something in your contest is that those aren't necessarily the people that you want to connect with. So, like in this case, if the company is, this Startup Pirates, they want to connect with people who are in the startup space. So if they gave away an iPad, everybody's, sister and brother might want to enter. But when they're giving away these specific books, it narrows down their audience, and it creates, it excludes people that would look at this and say, oh, all I wanted was an iPad. So you're not going to get, the 80% conversion rate on the page, but you're going to get the 30% conversion rate of the audience that you're looking for. I mean, you're going to get the audience that you want to actually convert. All right, I'll let you stare at the cute picture for a second. Cuteness, there's believe it or not, and the blog post will link out, there's been science that proves that cuteness gets people's attention. Cute animals are certainly fit within that category. It's helpful because if you look at this image and kind of what's going on here, you've got the 2 cute animals with their mouths open. They look hungry. The brand of the food is right behind them. And so your eyes are drawn there, they're drawn to the food, and then the food kind of leads you into the form on the right-hand side of the page. And then on the side itself, so you've already said, like, wow, it's it's kind of a hypnotic image. What's going on this page? Oh, enter to win. Oh, the dog food. I see the dog food. And ideally, you were brought here by some link that you kind of knew you were being pulled into a contest. I sort of feel like these animals are hypnotizing you more to get you to enter. And then I also love the simple questions to go with the contest, and Izzy will talk about that on when he talks about our themes at Kickoff Labs. But here's what kind of pet do you have? They're doing some learning about their audience by asking the question, what kind of pet do you have? Dog, cat, hamster, snake, whatever types of things that you might have. But it's also something where it gets you thinking along the lines of, hey, I can answer that easy question. And the more you get people thinking, hey, this is really simple, this is easy. Oh, I have a dog, or I'm a cat person. And you do that, and they say, oh, well, I'll also give my email address, because you've started people thinking along the lines of, yes, I'll do that. Yes, I can answer that question. Okay, here's my email address. to focus on what your goal is here. So Jim, a guest, asked, other than an ebook or coupon, what's an example of a good incentive? So like I said, the two, it really depends on what your audience is, like I said earlier. And there's kind of two main pieces of the incentive. There's a bigger prize, what is a larger prize, and then there's sort of the incentive for everyone to think about. I think about something like an ebook that you might develop, or a coupon, as sort of something that doesn't have as much value as something physical, and maybe that's changing over time. But I still think there's a huge divide between something that is actually a physical item versus something that is virtual. The ebook and the coupon is a great thing. Like, everybody that enters this contest gets a free copy of our own ebook, right? But then the winner, the bigger prize, might be a combination of a collection of 5 other ebooks from partners, plus maybe a signed copy of this physical book, or something that has material that has value outside of the virtual world. I think it helps set yourself apart. So like in this case, the prize here was 6 months supply of Blue Buffalo. You're actually getting their product if you're the winner. They didn't do so great at incentivizing everybody on the page, but that's where I think about virtual gifts as great incentive for everybody, like a coupon or an ebook, and I think about something physical that has special meaning or value to the audience in that category is something that is a better incentive to get to lure people in. And then if you have to go virtual, something that has real dollar value, like I said, the collection of ebooks that maybe other people charge for, the coupon is not really a dollar value because you're asking them to spend money to get a coupon. That's why I said it's a great incentive for everybody. But saying, hey, we'll give you this service free for 10 years. And I've seen that a lot recently is people doing something that really stands out. Like, it's not just a year of free service. We're basically saying you're going to get 10 years, a lifetime, or whatever of service out of this product for as much as you want. Like, think about that value you might deliver, and then think about what is the extreme case of that value that you might deliver. And is it worth it because you'll have a fan for life who's going to refer you 10 other people along the way to give away that value forever. Does that make sense, Jim, and answer the question? I think it's a really great question, and I think my answer is kind of summarized as virtual good, incentive for everybody, actual monetary value, something physical in nature, is a better incentive for the ultimate reward of the prize. And thinking about having both sides of those prizes is certainly important. All right, I'll let Izzy talk about evergreen contests.
Sure. Okay, so basically, when we're talking about evergreen contests, we're actually giving. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and present as well, so you can see exactly what I'm looking at. One sec, everybody. Okay, so you're seeing our presentation. So evergreen contests basically are creating contests during different occasions. So it's creating a different contest. You can create a contest for, well, for example, this is our customer called Cadence, and they're an e-commerce shop that sells watches. And as you can see here, they're celebrating Pi Day, which really isn't celebrating much. So they're just making up events as they come along, and they're creating a contest around that. So what that gives you, it just gives you more opportunities and more moments to create contests also what it does, it's giving you more targets, different segments of customers to target. So let's say I have a certain segment that's very focused um, exactly on this, on the pie design. So if I have someone that's really interested in a certain kind of product, well, I can actually drive them to those kind of contests, and usually have various of those contests up. Anything that you'd like to add, Josh?
No, I think you covered it. I mean, I think the thing that Cadence does that we see them doing is they keep kind of one consistent contest that's sort of an easy thing for them to do that's always going, and then they do bigger contests around each specific occasion. This is a good strategy, I think. Once you've got a built-in audience and you've got enough people to kind of keep a regular contest going, it gives them something to advertise so they can point AdWords at it. It gives them something to promote in forums around here. So let me go back and share my screen again. Hello, everybody. All right, things to do during the contest. Ironically, some include things that are set up before the contest as well. So let's go into this. Earn likes equals more exposure. Easy actions that lead to a stronger email connection. There's two things I like about this kind of sample contest you see here. Well, I mean, there's a lot I like about it, but the two things I want to point out about this contest is that they've got this three-step system going on where the first step is like us, the second step is follow us, and the third step is enter the email. Nowhere here does it say that's required, but you see a majority of the people end up following these steps anyway. And so the thing that this the value that this has is, obviously, if more people start liking them on Facebook and they are promoting the contest on Facebook, it has this self-fulfilling nature of drawing more people in because they can get exposure, they can run the ad to more people about the contest, they can promote it to more people on Facebook. Same thing on Twitter. The second thing it does is it leads to that. It leads people down like I mentioned before, like a simple sort of yes path. Like, all I had to do was click a button and I liked you on Facebook. Then all I had to do was follow you on Twitter. Oh, my email? Sure, I've already done everything else. I might as well give you my email. And there's strong evidence that suggests that psychology of once you get people in the mood of doing something for you, that third step is going to be more successful than, say, just directly asking for the email address. And so it kind of has the two benefits. One is the benefit of expanding your audience. And so considering making these steps sort of either required or required afterwards, and the second part is thinking through the yes effect. Like, how do you get people to take one action that leads them to another action because they've already started down a path? They might as well finish the path that makes things easier for them. All right. Leverage scarcity. Only X get in. The best thing, I didn't pull maybe the greatest example here. I think the two things of scarcity that work really well is, obviously there's only one or there's only three people are going to get the main prize. That's one form of scarcity that's fairly obvious. The other form of scarcity is a time ending. So thinking, and you can combine the two, obviously. So thinking through, basically, here's something valuable. Only a couple of you are going to get it, but you better hurry up because there's only 3 days to enter. People tend to be procrastinators. So if you just leave it very open-ended and say you have the next 2 weeks to do it, even if they've got the web page up, people will just look at it and then dismiss the page. Say, oh, I'll just do that tomorrow, and then they'll forget to do it tomorrow. You want to grab people while they're there by reminding them that, hey, there's a reason to start to do it now, because if you put it off, you're probably not going to get it. All right, I always like to say everybody's everybody's a little viral, meaning that you don't need you don't need, so we talk about this a lot at Kickoff Labs. It's one of our unique values is that after you collect an email address, we make it extremely easy for people to share, and then we track those shares. So you can actually add incentive to say, hey, if you get 3 other people to enter the contest, we're going to double your chances of winning. Or for every person you get to enter the contest, that counts as another entry for you. So sort of think about it as if they're entering a raffle, they get their 1 ticket, but they get 3, they can get 20 extra tickets if they get 20 more people to sign up in terms of increasing their odds of winning. It's something that we make really easy to do. And you can see here on this example, the viral boost is 138%. That means more than a half of the people that are entering their contest are coming from people sharing. This is sort of that traditional spike that you might see of a hockey stick, where for every person you share it with, they're inviting more than 1 person back. That's the extreme case. It's not. It's awesome if you get there, but it's not necessarily required. If, for example, you could just get 20% more people to enter your contest, if you're dealing with 1,000 people entering and you get 20% more, that's a significant boost to your audience and to your exposure. But the biggest thing is, and Izzy got the quote from one of our customers at Coed Supplies, like, give them a reason to share. If you give them value for telling their friend about your brand, they'll take on the role of brand advocate for you and tell the story in a more authentic way. And so I think that really resonates. Like, you need to make it easy, which we do, to share. But then you also need to give them a reason to say, hey, why should I share? There's people can be inherently selfish, and they need a reason that's incentive for them to bring their friends. Obviously, if there's and especially true in contests, because if you think about the incentive to share a contest, if there's a scarcity involved, you're not really incentivized to bring your friends unless you flip the tables and say, for every friend you get, that's another entry for you in the contest. And that's something that makes it then compelling again, and sort of at least eliminates the negativity of pulling more people into a contest to enter it. All right, follow up. This is an important thing that people do. That people don't do is think about how you're following up with people. So once somebody enters your contest, what's the immediate thing you're going to do, and then what are you going to do long term for them? So immediately you've entered them in the contest. You should send them a follow-up mail, and rather than just saying thank you for entering, make sure you add the context that says, hey, you've just been entered to win X, and then within that mail, you want to again encourage the sharing. And so, hey, how can you increase your chances of winning? Share it with friends, family, colleagues, coworkers. The closest 5 to 500 people you can think of should be encouraged within that email as well. You've already gotten them to enter their email address. They're already an engaged customer. Take advantage of that immediately when they get their follow-up email to say, hey, go on and take the next step. And I think that's something that it goes beyond just letting people drop their raffle ticket in the bucket. You need to think about that, and then after they've taken the step, or after they've received this immediate follow-up, what value are you going to deliver to them? Are you just adding them to your newsletter list, where they're going to get promotions, or are you going to let them know in advance about other contests that you're going to be running? So think about how you can take this engaged audience, make them feel special, and carry that momentum into the next set of contests that you do. After the contest. Izzy, do you want to take over for this one?
Sure. One sec. I was actually tweeting out something. Yeah, actually, basically, after the contest, let me go ahead and share my screen again. Sorry about that, because I'm switching back and forth. So after your contest, you basically want to leave a trace of your contest. Leave up a landing page. Make sure that people know that you had an awesome contest going on during a certain time, and leave up the landing page. Leave up the sign-up form. Actually, you can still be capturing email addresses long after the contest is over. Another tactic for after your your contest would be to create an event around the contest winners. So when you're announcing to everybody, you know, to your mailing list or to the contest email address list, when you're announcing to everybody who the winners are, you can just create a nice detailed blog post around it. Maybe even create a nice video around it. Maybe have your contest winner create a review of the product, a review of the prize. There's tons of stuff that you can do around the end of the contest. So after your contest, you still have tons of opportunities to promote and to engage your audience. Some of the key takeaways from this entire presentation, for me, would be to always focus on creating attention-grabbing visual content. So by having nice images, by having few images, because you don't want to crowd your page with too many call to actions or too many images. So use strong visual image to drive action from your contest entries. You also want to leverage the social networks of your contest partners, just how Josh was explaining to us a little bit earlier, how one of our previous customers, Startup Pirates, they leveraged contest partners by giving away their books. Let's see, another key takeaway here would be to empower your customers to do the marketing for you. So basically, this was the example from Coed Supplies. So this goes hand in hand with giving the people a reason to share. So if you give them a reason to share and a good experience to share, people will want to share with their friends. Another key takeaway would be collecting email addresses can be essential. Well, it says can be essential to your business success. I think it is essential to your business success. Nowadays, a like and a follow aren't worth too much. The best form of communication, in my opinion, would be direct email. It has the highest ROI out of any other form of online communication. So to me, that's the winner. So collecting email addresses is essential to your business success. And last but not least, it's not about the number of signups. You know, it's not about going viral and getting thousands and thousands of signups. You know, it's about engaging the right audience, engaging the right kind of customer, and making sure that you get in front of their eyes. You know, just get in front of the right kind of customer. That's what's important. Anything that you'd like to add, Josh?
No, I mean you certainly summarized what we talked about today. I think now is a good opportunity to kind of go through how we've leveraged this and talk about and show off some of the new themes. I don't know if you want to share your screen this time, Izzy, and kind of you can go through the basic concepts of the new themes we created.
Of course. One sec. Let me grab presentation here. Okay, so we're looking at my Kickoff Labs dashboard. Feel free and be nosy, look around, that's fine. But what I'm going to go to first, so let's take a look at our 3 contest themes. We have 3 new contest themes. Actually, I'll first show them to you from the dashboard. Assuming that I wanted to create a new theme, I just add landing page. I would name my theme here. And under contests, we have a few new contest themes. This first row of 3, these are the 3 new contest themes. So you'll see we have a single opt-in, double opt-in, and triple opt-in. So those processes, I'm going to explain them a little bit further. Right now we're looking at what's the single opt-in. So this theme, we built it modeled on some contest, proven contest mechanics where we're using, for example, we have a countdown timer here, which is adding scarcity or urgency. we're also adding the prize information, and we're actually limiting a lot of the information that's displayed. So here we only have basic information. We have a logo, a short tagline, a basic headline, and then we would go directly into our prize description, and we would give people the opportunity to enter. So this single opt-in has only one step, basically. That's why it's called single. So I would only click one single time to get into the email address input, and I could just throw it in, put in my email address, and I don't know if you noticed, but it's being validated as I type. So that's something else that we just added in, and it should be added to the future themes, something that we think is really cool, and it's a great visual trigger to let your signups know that they're doing great, that they're doing, that they're almost there or they're not. And if you notice here as well, we have a little bit of microcopy that's added. Everything is editable, so you can customize any of the text, any of the colors, any of the formatting. Super easy to do. So I'll go ahead and finish the sign up here. So you see I get a green check mark. Everything looks okay. I'll enter, and I get my own unique referral link, and everything is ready to share. I can share on Twitter, I could share Facebook, Google+, I can email, or I could send it to any other social network via this link here. So that's the single step opt-in. Beautiful, beautiful page. As always, the pages are mobile responsive, so you can see that it properly shrinks down to the size, to mobile sizes. And let's take a quick look at the double.
Hey, Izzy, before you go on the double opt-in,
oh sure,
I want to answer. Excuse me.
We have a question here.
We had a question, so I want to answer. Marlon's question. Says, our young business is currently run on Facebook. Would you suggest sending our audience to a landing page and collecting emails to communicate? Absolutely. If you look at, and there's some data we can share that specifically shows, but basically, if you look at engagement rates, if you take 1,000 people and you have 1,000 Facebook fans or you have 1,000 email addresses, you are 5 or 6 times more likely to get them to take action by sending them an email than to posting to Facebook. The biggest reason there is that email is a direct link to their attention. It's a little bit more, ironically, it's more personal than Facebook, and you're not blocked by the algorithms on Facebook. So Facebook is going to continuously be a pay-to-play and pay-to-get engagement trick or audience. So we do successfully get some Facebook engagement, but primarily when we do things like running retargeted ads to get our content promoted. So if you visit our site, we'll retarget you on Facebook, we'll promote our content, but that is always going to be a pay-to-play game. It's how Facebook makes money, it's how they want to make money. Email, on the other hand, is not, while it has the advantage of being free, it's also a more direct connection, and the ad filters and the spam filters that people run in email are not nearly, they don't filter out nearly as much from people's inbox as the Facebook algorithm, and so that's why I would absolutely recommend. So getting likes is great. You should absolutely still try and get people to like you on Facebook and expand your audience there. But if I had to value a like to an email address, I place the email address at about 10 to 20% or 10 to 20 times rather more value than the Facebook like. And so then I would go from there. Hopefully that answers your question. And I'll let Izzy move on to theme number 2.
Okay. We're ready to move on to the second viral theme. This is the viral giveaway double opt-in process. This is a fake company here, VeggieCo. But you're probably wondering, hey, where's the email form? Where do I put in my email address? This is actually this being a 2-step opt-in or a double opt-in. So we would need to click twice in order to get into the email input box. So as you see here, I'll click once and I'll click twice, and I'm inside of the email input box. Why would we do this? why would we design this kind of page? As always, fully responsive. Well, this kind of page is actually modeled after some renowned marketers, where namely Visual Website Optimizer. They were actually able to test their sign-up process, where they were testing against a normal sign-up form, which is the single-step form, where the email input appears directly on the screen, against a modal pop-up window, and according to their stats, they got 50% more signups just by adding this second step. So pretty awesome. To me, what this does as well, this actually creates somewhat of a barrier for your contest entries, and it's a good barrier to put up, because actually what you're doing, you're preventing spam email addresses from coming in. Usually whenever we have just like a normal email input, there's bots walking around the internet filling out email addresses, filling out fake email addresses. So this is somewhat of a barrier against that. And it's also something that we mentioned a little bit earlier. It's kind of leading towards saying yes to the last step. So if I'm saying yes, I'll click the button. Yes, I want to enter. Okay, well, yes, I'll enter my email address. And as you see, we have that same micro copy here, which is completely customizable. We're cheering for you. Okay, cool. So it makes me feel good. So you're cheering for me to enter? Okay. Sounds good. So I get the same sharing options, same unique URL, which is a personal URL that people could share with their friends, and I get the same share options here. So that's the double opt-in. I don't know if there's anything else that you'd like to add as far as the double opt-in, Josh?
No, I mean, it was basically the path to yes, which I really like there.
Exactly. Well, here's the even more noticeable path to yes here, which is the triple opt-in. This is another fake company, Wheelska, and this is basically what it looks like. But let's play around with this fake company. This is actually the yes ladder, also called the foot in the door technique. It's much more noticeable in this last triple opt-in process here. So first, basically what we're doing, we're going to be asking our contest entry to answer an obvious question. Hey, do you want to win a prize? You can actually change this. You can have it say, hey, do you like my company? Do you think we're awesome? You can have it say anything you want. But the point is to basically get them going through what's called the yes ladder. So here I'll be saying, I have a couple questions that I can answer. I have 3 questions total. If I answer wrong, well, I'll just get some microcopy that says, give it another try. But if I answer correctly, I'll be guided into the second step. So I'm in the second step here, and I'm ready to enter my email address. And that's actually been a total of 3 steps, 3 clicks. So let me reload the page so you can see how many clicks it takes me to get into the email input form. So it's 1. I'm sorry, hold on. So it's 1, 2, and 3. So that's why it's our triple opt-in. And as Josh and I were saying, the power of this opt-in form is that you're getting people to start saying yes and yes. So once you get people to get up that yes ladder, they'll just go ahead and continue on with any other steps. Obviously, it's just smart just to keep it simple and just to ask for the email address. So then later you can start asking for more requests from your contest entries. These are the new themes from the front end. Let's take a quick look at the landing page editor, if we have time for that, Josh.
Yeah, you've got a couple minutes.
Okay, so I'll jump into the landing page editor here. I'm going to go into my landing page. Okay, so here we are, and we're inside of the editor. As you can see, I already customized this theme greatly. This is kind of how it looks like out of the box. It just comes without our logo, comes with some basic copy for you. But as you see, I kind of customized the background image. I customized the colors. Everything is super easy to do. I even added some social networks here, which I really don't recommend to do because you really don't want to drive people away from your sign-up page at this point. But I just added it in just to show you that it's easy to put in some extra elements and copy. I want to point out that these are some of the new options that are included in the landing page editor for these new contest themes. So we've added a background blur to make it easier for your copy to be read. If you've noticed, the background image has been blurred completely. The page layout can be changed from left to right, no problem. Everything can be customized. Perfect. We have a nice, fat, big, chunky 3D button, which I really like. It makes, to my eyes, it makes the button a lot more noticeable, so that's optional for you as well. Let's make the button chunky again. There we go. And we could add in any kind of video. I have a video. Let me see if I can find it for you real quick. I probably don't have it loaded up, and I would have to look for it for 1 sec, but
you can skip the video.
Yeah, I can skip that. But anyways, you can put any kind of video you can customize. So you can make the box transparent, make it full color. Here's your countdown timer where it's actually also optional. And here's your space for your micro copy. And in the other themes, you would get space to put in your question and your answer. So everything is customizable, and some awesome new themes, and proven to be effective, proven contest mechanics. I can't wait for you guys to start using them. And if you have any questions, if you want to customize a theme, you want to make any kind of changes, we can go ahead and do that for you. Just let us know. Get a hold of us via chat or email us at support@kickofflabs.com. And that's pretty much it for these new themes. Anything else that you'd like to add, Josh?
Sorry, I was on mute. A couple things. There was another question. So Tim asked, can you comment on your perspective of the role of contests at different stages of a startup, MVP, alpha, beta, or after? So I think your challenge, no matter what stage that you're in there, I mean, of the ones that you're listed, is always growing your audience. And I think about a contest as once you know, as something that's best done once you know more precisely who your audience is. So I wouldn't, for example, if we get a lot of people who are coming into Kickoff Labs who say, I want to test this idea and I've got 5 ideas and I want to see which one I can get people to the page and which one I can get people to sign up for. I don't think that's a great use for a contest. Because you really don't know what will appeal to them. You're really just at the stage where you're trying to figure out, is this an audience I want to go after? So at that MVP, earlier stage, I think it's best to focus more just on a simple launch page and thinking about the message that you have. When you get a little further, I would think about adding contests, a bit of the contest to the viral mechanics. So we've seen a lot of people success once they know that they're getting a decent conversion rate, once they know their audience, to do 2 things. One, you leverage a little bit of the contest mechanics by giving away an incentive for people to add their email address. So incentive for everyone to say, hey, sign up for interest in my startup, and I'll deliver a PDF of my 5 tips on why. And that's kind of a contest mechanic. It's not really run like a contest, but it leverages that thinking. And then on the sharing aspect of it, you can say, hey, invite 3 friends. The person who gets the most invites gets our product for a year. You can start to gamify and add that contest element at that stage to the sharing once you know your audience. I think the contests, in the sense of I've got a giveaway and I'm running it side by side, is for when you've got maybe a little further along, like beta or your first release. So the themes that Izzy is showcasing, I think, are best positioned once you've got sort of an existing audience that's engaged. You can leverage them for the initial marketing of the contest, and you can do something specifically as a fun reward for people who've joined you at that stage of your promotion, your startup. And then obviously, once you're past release 1, it's just another way to get to generate leads and pull people into your audience. The next question, hopefully that answered your question. Video on the landing page are great. Yes, the themes do support videos. I just didn't want to have Izzy sitting there searching YouTube for videos because you never know what'll come up. The second question, part of that, do they integrate into an autoresponder like MailChimp? All of our pages do. So you can connect your MailChimp account to any of our pages, so that if you pull, so if you're pulling leads, they'll come into our system where you'll get all the Magic Contest data, the referral tracking, and you can push into MailChimp's email automation system after that. So you could continue to drip onto them additional emails with their marketing automation, or you could just push them into your general larger newsletter list if you're managing that within MailChimp. Unless there's any other questions, I'm going to close this out. I want to thank Izzy for pulling this together. Izzy is actually the person that suggested doing the themes, drove the implementation, shipped the themes. So Izzy gets a lot of kudos and credit for shipping an awesome new feature, a set of features, the themes at Kickoff Labs. I'm really excited to see people start using them. Everybody can sign up at kickofflabs.com, try them out for free. If you like them, tell your friends. If you don't like them, tell Izzy, and let us know what we could do to improve. They're new. We're happy to work with people. We'd love to see what feedback people have and how they use them and how we could make them better. We're always looking at how people are using our product and thinking, okay, how can we actually make either that a feature or make it simpler for people? And so go ahead, try kickofflabs.com, sign up if you haven't already, try out the new themes that Izzy showed, and join us in 2 weeks for our next chat.